let's be clear about one thing. The AI revolution isn't some far-off future event. It's happening right now, and it is fundamentally changing the way we do business. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's a present-day reality, and we're about to break down exactly what that means for you and your company. Think about this number for a second, 78%. That is the percentage of organizations globally that have already brought artificial intelligence into at least one part of their business. So yeah, this is way past the experimental phase. It's a core part of business strategy now. Okay, so that's the big picture, but that really just leads us to the most important question of all. What about your company? In the middle of all this massive change, how can you use AI to get ahead, to stay secure, and to empower your team? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out together. So here's our game plan. We're going to break this down into 5 key parts. We'll start by making the case that the revolution is already here. Then we'll take a tour of AI's impact across the business, talk about the serious security risks, lay out a practical playbook for you, and finally, look at how you can start shaping your company's future today. All right, let's kick things off with section 1. The AI revolution is here. And I really want to hammer this point home. This isn't something that's on its way. It's already transforming business as we speak. The explosion of generative AI, especially, has been like pouring gasoline on a fire, just accelerating everything at a wild pace. And you know, this isn't just some surface-level trend. We're talking deep integration. 71% of companies are already using tools like ChatGPT. But get this, it's not just interns and junior staff. Almost a quarter of C-suite executives are using it personally for their own work. It's even a formal topic of discussion in the boardroom. The message couldn't be clearer. This isn't an IT issue anymore. It's a core strategic priority. Okay, so we've established that AI is here and it's widespread. But what does that actually look like on the ground? Let's jump into section 2 and take a guided tour of how AI is impacting businesses department by department. First up, and maybe the most obvious win, is all about boosting productivity and efficiency. Think about all those routine, repetitive tasks. Data entry, sorting through customer emails, drafting those first-pass reports. AI is basically taking that off our plates, freeing up people to focus on the bigger, more strategic work that really moves the needle. And the impact? Well, it's not small. We're talking staggering results. Studies are showing that when you give knowledge workers generative AI, their performance can shoot up by 20, 30, even 40% or more. And this isn't just about doing things faster. It's about fundamentally improving the quality of the work itself. And that really brings us to this cool idea of the bionic workforce. Now, this isn't about robots taking over. Not at all. It's about augmentation. It's about creating a partnership where AI handles what it's good at, like lightning-fast analysis and scale, and humans handle what we're good at, like critical judgment, creativity, and empathy. The human is still very much in charge. Let's get specific for a second. Take HR. A full 40% of companies are now using AI to help with recruitment. Imagine an AI screener that can analyze thousands of resumes in minutes to find those perfect candidates that a human might have overlooked. It's making the hiring process faster and, honestly, a lot smarter. But it's not just about the day-to-day grind. Let's take our tour all the way up to the C-suite. Leaders are now using AI to get a much clearer picture of the future. They can analyze huge sets of market data, predict emerging trends, and even simulate the potential outcomes of major strategic decisions. It's about making those huge company-defining calls with a lot more data and a lot less guesswork. And here's the kicker. The investment is absolutely paying off. The companies that are really excelling with AI, we'll call them AI high performers, are 5 times more likely to be spending a serious chunk of their IT budget on it. And what do they get in return? Well, they credit at least 20% of their earnings directly to their AI efforts. The ROI is just impossible to ignore. Okay, but with all this incredible power, there's always a flip side, right? And that brings us to section 3, the AI double-edged sword. Because for every way we can use AI for good, someone else is trying to weaponize it, creating a cybersecurity landscape that is totally new and, frankly, a lot scarier. Yeah, it's basically a digital arms race out there. On the one hand, you've got attackers using AI to create super convincing deepfake phishing scams and launch automated attacks that adapt on the fly. But on the other hand, the defenders are using AI right back at them for real-time threat detection and automated incident response. The new reality is simple. You're going to need AI to fight AI. So we get the impact, we see the risks. Now for the million-dollar question, how do you actually do this? How do you implement AI successfully? Let's get practical in Section 4 with your implementation playbook, and we'll start with the common roadblocks. The funny thing is, the biggest hurdles often aren't the tech itself. They're about people, processes, and policies. You've got to think about change management and address the very real anxieties your employees might have. You have to get your data house in order, and you absolutely have to set up strong governance to stay compliant. And here's the really wild part. Less than half of companies are even actively working on these risks. That's a massive gap. So, how do you avoid those pitfalls and do it right? It really boils down to 4 key best practices. Number 1, always align with business value. Don't do AI for AI's sake. Start with a real problem. Number 2, start small, then scale. Run a pilot project, learn from it, and then build momentum. 3, invest in your people. Upskill your current team. And finally, number 4, foster collaboration. Get people from different departments talking to each other. All right, that brings us to our final section, where we're going to tie this all together. As we talk about shaping your company's future, the big takeaway is this. The choice is no longer if you'll adopt AI. The only question now is how and when. There's this quote that I think just nails it. It says, the real value of AI doesn't just come from the tech itself, but from completely rewiring how your company actually runs. It's not about just plugging in a new tool. It's about fundamentally rethinking your workflows, your roles, and your entire decision-making process. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought. The companies that are going to win in this new era aren't the ones sitting on the sidelines. They're the ones building a smart, responsible strategy right now. The future of work is here. The only real question left is, are you ready to lead it?